Welcome to the Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to be looking at something that, honestly, most of us have sitting in our pantries right this very second, but we rarely stop to truly appreciate it. When you look at a bowl of pasta, you probably just see dinner, right? Well, by the end of our time together today, you're going to see precise edible engineering. We're going to decode the architectural brilliance behind Italian pasta shapes and discover why these designs are literally anything but random.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've all stood there right smack in the middle of the grocery store aisle, staring at dozens of different boxes and wondering, does your pasta shape actually matter? I mean, is picking one over the other just a matter of aesthetics, or does that dizzying array of spirals, tubes, and ribbons serve a real culinary purpose? Well, spoiler alert, it changes absolutely everything about your meal.
Section 1. The engineering of pasta. Form follows function. To really get this, we need to look at pasta through a totally new lens, recognizing that every traditional shape solves a very specific problem in the kitchen.
Section 2. The long classics. Strings, ribbons, and tongues. Let's move to and see how this builds as we transition to our first category of long pastas, starting with the absolute icons.
We've got to start with the most recognized pasta in the entire world, spaghetti. The name literally derives from the Italian word for string, which, perfectly describes its long, thin, fully round shape. This marvel of culinary design originated in southern Italy, specifically near Naples. Down there, making dry pasta was this cherished craft passed down through generations of trial and error. So why did spaghetti become the global symbol of Italian cooking? It's pure engineering utility. The dried strings travel incredibly well without breaking, they cook up super fast, and the round shape is incredibly versatile. It pairs just as beautifully with a simple olive oil as it does with a rich meat sauce.
Next up, we have fettuccine, which translates to little ribbons. Now, if spaghetti is the durable, well-traveled southerner, fettuccine is kind of the luxurious homebody of central Italy. It's heavily tied to Roman cooking traditions. This shape is wide and flat, and traditionally, it's hand-rolled and cut fresh rather than pushed through massive industrial machines. And because it's usually made with eggs, fettuccine has a much richer texture and a softer bite. That wide, flat surface area is basically a structural landing pad built specifically to hold thick, heavy, creamy sauces. I mean, that's exactly why fettuccine Alfredo became such a legendary pairing, right?
Then we have linguine, meaning little tongues. Now, linguine often gets totally mistaken for just a flatter spaghetti. And honestly, if pasta had feelings, linguine would be highly offended by that. Linguine has its own distinct, proud identity rooted deeply in the Liguria region of Italy. It's not fully round like spaghetti, and actually, scratch that, it's not completely flat like fettuccine either. It's got this slightly oval shape that fundamentally changes the way it interacts with your food.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly these two flattest shapes contrast with one another. On the left, you've got fettuccine. Its flat, wide ribbon shape and softer egg dough bite are engineered to support heavy, rich cream sauces. But look at linguine on the right. That oval shape and firmer texture naturally grew out of Liguria's coastal cuisine. The oval curve creates a surface that clings just perfectly to delicate olive oil, minced garlic, clams, and shrimp. A heavy cream would completely overwhelm linguine. But a delicate seafood oil, it is perfectly captured by those little tongues.
Section 3. The sturdy tubes. Industrial strength. We're transitioning here to the heavier, tubular pastas that were literally engineered to withstand intense heat and super dense ingredients. To really wrap our heads around tubular pasta, we have to look at this historical timeline. You see, for generations, pasta in southern and central Italy was almost entirely handcrafted. We're talking rolled, pinched, and cut by hand. But in the 19th century, well, everything changed. Factory production took hold. The advent of modern industrial manufacturing and massive extrusion machines allowed pasta makers to easily mass-produce these complex, hollow, machine-cut tubular shapes that would have been an absolute nightmare to make by hand on any large scale.
The most famous result of this whole industrial shift is penne. Shaped like little tubes, penne was designed with pure practicality in mind. The name derives from the Italian word for pen or quill, because that sharp diagonal cut at the ends perfectly resembles an old-fashioned inkwell tip. But listen, that cut isn't just for looks. It acts as a scoop. Combined with its hollow center and those little ridges on its exterior, penne is a structural marvel designed specifically to trap chunky vegetable or ground meat sauces. Its sturdy walls also mean it holds up exceptionally well under heavy cheese and oven heat, making it the undisputed king of baked pasta dishes.
But hey, if penne is sturdy, rigatoni is a downright fortress. Let's look at the traits of this massive tube. Hailing from southern Italy, rigatoni is significantly wider and larger than penne, featuring these very deep ridges running along its surface. Those ridges are absolutely crucial. They are engineered friction, helping heavy sauces cling to the pasta rather than just sliding right off into the bottom of your bowl. Because of its extreme durability, rigatoni is your go-to choice for hearty, rustic pork and sausage sauces. It can endure long simmering and the intense, bubbling heat of an oven bake without losing its structural integrity or turning to mush.
Section 4. The beautiful bow ties. A steady in folds. Now we're going to transition to our specialty shapes by focusing on the incredible artisanal tradition of pleating dough for both visual and textural purposes.
The absolute star of this category is farfalle. Visually, it stands out more than almost any other shape we've discussed so far. The name translates beautifully to butterflies, inspired by that pinched center that creates two soft little wings on either side. Historically, this wasn't an industrial creation at all. It originated in the Lombardy and Emilia-Romagna regions, where home cooks would take small squares of dough and painstakingly pleat them by hand to create this super elegant shape.
I absolutely love this quote from the source material regarding farfalle. It says it's meant for dishes that look as appealing as they taste. Farfalle isn't just about pure utilitarian function. It is a visual centerpiece. Those delicate wings make it perfectly suited for lighter sauces and elegant, vibrant pasta salads where the visual presentation is quite literally just as important as the flavor itself.
And this brilliantly illustrates the hidden genius of farfalle. It's not just pretty. That pleated center fundamentally alters the physics of the cooking time. Because the dough is pinched and folded right in the middle, that central core is way thicker than the flat wings on the edges. So when you boil it, it creates this super unique sensory experience. You get a firm al dente bite right in the middle, surrounded by soft, delicate dough on the outside. It's basically a built-in textural contrast in every single bite.
Section 5. The perfect pairing. Rules of the kitchen. Let's bring all of these fascinating engineering concepts together into an actionable, practical takeaway for your very next home-cooked meal.
So, the crucial point is, this right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. If you want to elevate your cooking, you pair the architecture with the sauce. Spaghetti? That's your versatile workhorse. If you're making a rich, heavy cream sauce, you need the flat landing pad of fettuccine. Doing a delicate garlic and clam seafood dish, you want the oval, oil-hugging linguine. If you're baking a dish with chunky meats or veggies, you need the hollow structural integrity of penne or the massive, ridge-gripping durability of rigatoni. And if you are whipping up a bright, light pasta salad that needs some serious visual flair and textural contrast, you reach for the farfalle.
Pasta is not just a canvas, folks. It is a co-star in your meal. Every ridge, fold, and angle was meticulously designed by generations of Italian cooks and 19th century innovators to solve a distinct problem. So I leave you with this question to ponder. What culinary problem will your next dinner solve? The next time you reach into your pantry, I challenge you to think like a true pasta engineer. Match the form to the function, and I guarantee your meals will never be the same. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy cooking.